Everybody Hates Rand is a Wheel of Time podcast that will contain spoilers for all 14 books. So if you're anti-spoiler, pause this, read all 14 books, and come back. We'll be here, waiting.
Our title is a joke and is meant to be taken as such. In the context of this podcast, everybody refers to us and our cat. You are free to feel however you want about Rand, who is a fictional character. Don't DM us.
The world is a mess, Dark One stretching out his hand. The dragon's reborn, the fire's been fanned, but everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand.
Okay, so then Perrin gets shot, and they regroup and go to the Tinkers, and the Tinkers are like, hey, we're going to be obnoxious about our belief system the same way you guys are obnoxious about yours. And then Fail's like, oh, my dad is Davram Bashir. And Aram's like, is Egg here? And Perrin's like, no, fuck off, Aram, I hate you. And Aram's like, Jesus fucking Christ, you don't have to be a dick about it. And Perrin's like, I have an arrow in my side. My whole family's dead, not that that matters.
To literally anyone.
To literally anyone, me included. And then he is like, Fail like force feeds him some goddamn morphine or whatever the hell it is. Fantasy morphine. Forphine? And then he goes to the wolf dream and finds out that the way gate is no longer locked because Slayer is like, fuck you all.
Yeah.
The Trollocs are gonna murder you all. And Perrin's like, sounds great, homie. Fuck you too. And then he wakes up because he's like, I can't win this fight. And then they all go to Emmons Field, and all the Emmons Fielders are like, we're preparing for goddamn battle.
Yeah.
Also, Perrin, we really should take care of that arrow in your side before it gets gangrene. But guess what? Now we're all calling you Lord Golden Eyes, and we have some banners, which is going to be a plot point for, you guessed it, 12 more books.
12 more books? There's only 10 more books.
But it feels like 12.
It goes on long beyond the series we know.
So anyway, that's the plot. This is Everybody Hates Rand, your friendly neighborhood Wheel of Time podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Emily Jushaw.
And I'm Sally Gutcher.
Now we can get back to the real conversation.
I have one more point of order for the chapter. Yeah. I just wish, like, what makes... Are you fucking kidding me right now? Kibble is gonna die today. He's gonna just push some kibble around the kitchen floor. My one, like, major complaint about our main characters being from, like, Bumblefuck, West Virginia, is that they don't know who any of these people are, so Perrin can be like, your dad is the coolest man alive. I
know. Perrin's like, who's fucking Davram Bashir? And Fail has to explain he's one of the big-time military guys, and he's, like cousin of the queen or something? He's her uncle, I think.
Yeah, because Fail's her cousin.
Yeah, she's Fail's cousin. And Perrin has to, like, do the mental math and be like, oh, so technically you're 32nd in line for the throne or whatever. Yeah. Oh, God, I'm dating royalty.
Yeah.
And it's like, it would have been so much funnier if she was like, my dad's Davram Bashir, and he was like, what?
Like, yeah, it was like...
Like, finding out your dad is, like, I don't know, Tom Cruise or something.
Barack Obama.
And I'm like, can you find out you're dating Sasha Obama? He's like, yeah, my dad's, Barack Obama. What?
Yeah.
My date with the president's daughter. God, remember? That was a whole Disney movie.
Yeah, that was bonkers.
You'll probably find it on Disney Plus. Okay, so back to what I was actually talking about before we started the goddamn podcast. Here's the situation with my car, my family, and my sister's wedding. This is a fucking saga. I should write a book titled
My Car, My Family, and My Sister's Wedding.
Yeah, so my car's heater stopped working on Wednesday for reasons unknown. It still technically has hot air coming out of the vents, but, like, the fan isn't working, so there's no... So I've been, like, driving around with a blanket over my head like a goddamn babushka.
You did seem, like, really bundled up today. I was like, is she okay?
Yeah, that's because my car is an icebox. You'll also notice I brought in some bacon from my car.
I did. I had no comments
That was my boss, Landon, who was like, do you guys want some bacon? And we were like, sure.
Emily works at legitimately the weirdest place in the world.
Yeah, today I found out the following things about my coworkers. 1, Landon makes his own bacon, I think. too. James, the managing editor, has starred in a number of historically accurate church videos set in the Middle East because his family's Indian.
Oh.
So anyway, my car heater broke. Then on Wednesday, I'm sitting at lunch with my dad, and I'm like, I think that this weekend would be a great time to get my car fixed because I'm going to need an operational car the next week when my sister's getting married and all I have to do is run around doing various errands, and I'd like not to freeze my tits off while that's going on. Plus I'll like have to ferry grandparents around and things. I was like, so why don't this weekend I just drop off my car on Friday or whatever, and then I'm using Mom's car for the weekend. And he basically was like, no, for reasons that made no sense to me. And it has not, normally my dad's pretty good about following up with things of that caliber. But he was like, there's nothing wrong with your car, you'll just have to suffer for
Do you want, I'm going to be with my family all of next week. Do you want to trade cars?
No.
Because I don't really need to drive, so you can have my Subaru instead of your Subaru.
No, we'll figure it out. It is an ongoing saga. I just have to, like, I'm, like, angry at being shut down.
Yeah.
My dad being like, no, we have to leave your mom's car at the airport so that they have a way to get home on Sunday, when I was like, I could just pick them up from the airport.
We lived like 20 minutes from the airport.
And I was like, I could just pick them up from the airport, and he was like, but no, I want you to come to church with Adam so that Adam's not sitting by himself. And I'm like, Adam's a grown-ass adult, he can sit by himself in church.
Yeah.
That's fucking fine. And he's like, Christmas family. And I'm like, fine, but I'll wear pants to church for revenge.
Ooh,
Chris.
Brutal.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Do you know that one of Trump's rules for the White House is that, like, women can't wear pants to formal events?
No, but that doesn't surprise
me. I learned
me.
that on Query with Cameron Esposito today.
God, he's such a
And she was like, fuck that guy, right? I couldn't wear pants to the White House. And I was like, I'm sorry, Cammy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Misogynist.
You should wear...
I've got
pants
a whole...
and your tie.
I've got a whole outfit planned. No, I'm gonna be appropriately, quote-unquote, feminine. I'm gonna wear, like, a jumpsuit and flats and...
Gross.
Things like that, but only because then I'm gonna whip out the entire fucking suit ensemble at Anne's wedding.
I'm so excited.
And
I should buy a new outfit for Anne's wedding.
I'm easing the Highland 22nd ward into
how sexy you're gonna look at Anne's wedding. How fucking butch chic you're gonna look at Anne's wedding.
So anyway, that's aggravating. Tibble, whatever you're doing, stop. And my entire family is fucking manic. And Sarah is losing her goddamn mind. She sent me like 12 texts in a row today. They were all half a sentence fragment.
Like none of them were related.
None of them made sense. I had to call her in the middle of work and be like, what the fuck is happening? And she had to be like, I need a babysitter on Monday. But you don't have to. And I was like, well, at what time? Because I'm going to Anne's dress fitting. And she's like, Anne didn't invite me to her dress fitting. And I'm like, I don't have the capacity to reassure you right now about your value in Anne's wedding. I have no idea why she didn't invite you. Perhaps she could only invite some people and decided I, her butch sister, probably deserve to not be left out of all the feminine activities for once.
Also, Sarah, maybe you're just bringing, like, too much energy.
Sarah does have a lot of energy.
And so maybe Anne needs just, like, a quiet dress fitting.
Also,
I can be
like,
Anne, you're so pretty.
I was like, you have a toddler. She probably knew you were doing the stuff with the flowers that day. And Sarah was like, I know, it just sucks when you have a toddler because no one invites you to things anymore. And I was like, okay, understandable, fine. And then she was like, but Mom was all worried the other day that you feel left out because we haven't really been including you in any of the, like, wedding planning things like flowers and dresses and stuff like that. And she's like, but I told her that was probably not wrong. And I out loud was like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's like no big deal. But on the inside I was like, I mean, I do feel a little left out.
Yeah.
Because it sucks that I was gone for Sarah's wedding.
Yeah.
And I always feel kind of guilty that I wasn't here to help with that. Mm-hmm. And now here my sister is getting married 2 counties away. I should be able to help, but...
Everyone's decided that you and Adam, the Jushaw family sons, cannot participate.
They're like, Adam and Emily will just drive around Grandma and Grandpa the week of. And I'm like, fine, that's my cross to bear, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh my god, James today also told me that he wrote an essay called Why I Hate White Jesus.
James is, like, literally the most legendary person in the world.
I was like, will you send it to me?
Yeah.
It's incredible. He was like, yeah, you just have to email me on my not work emails that were not...
Yeah.
Having, like, religious discourse over the studies.
Religious discourse.
And I was like, I love that, James. Also, you should be my dad, who also hates white Jesus.
Oh my god, James and your dad would be like a force to
I
be
know, I
reckoned
literally
with.
said, Chris, all he loves to talk about at Thanksgiving is how much he hates white Jesus.
Yeah.
And James was like, can I meet your dad? And I was like, that's what everyone asks. But then they meet him and they're like, can I unmeet your dad?
No, Chris is just a bit of an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to meet him like 4 or 5 times, and when he finally starts calling you by the correct name, you're like, okay. Maybe now we can hang.
My dad?
At Sarah's wedding, infamously, Emily's older sister, Emily's dad was like, hi, Jenny, and like gave me a hug, and I was like, not Jenny.
It helps to know the following things. One, my dad has clinical face blindness.
I didn't know that.
He has no clue what anyone looks like. If you make him close his eyes and ask him to describe my mother, nothing. He's got absolutely nothing.
Amazing.
Like, he knows things about her.
Yeah.
He knows her driver's license description, but
That is a fascinating
absolutely nothing. So that's one thing to know. The other thing to know is that Jenny was my college best friend, and then she was slowly usurped by...
I did not usurp Jenny. You make it sound so violent.
It wasn't violent. It was just... Then I moved out and met Sally and things like that. And so then Sally was the one hanging out at all my family gatherings, and I think that just confused Chris.
Yeah. He's easily confused.
Yeah, because he was like, Emily only has one friend at a time. For 9 years it was Kate, then it was Jenny. It was a quicker transition from Jenny to Sally than it was from Kate to Jenny, and I don't know how to handle that.
I don't know how to heal from this. Anyway, anything else to update about the wedding?
No, it's just gonna be a wild fucking week next week. By the way, we're recording this 3 days after the last time we recorded, because next week is going to be a wild week. And it just is gnarly. Mm-hmm. But
You're in your Shark Daddy sweatshirt again.
I am in my Shark Daddy. Jesus fuck! I recorded twice in a row.
That's okay.
In my Shark Daddy sweatshirt.
It's what. I mean, I am also wearing the same sweatshirt.
Oh my god, we fucking
recorded. I'm wearing the Hosier sweatshirt again.
We're so slovenly. God.
Yeah. Well, I woke up this morning and I didn't feel well, and I had to leave the house at 7:45 to drive down to the worst place in the world.
You had to leave so early. I was so sad.
Well, I had to be there by 9, and it's impossible to predict how long the drive is going to be.
Right.
So I always like to give myself a 15-minute buffer. And yeah, I did only pull up to their house at 8:50, and Melissa had to leave at 9. So it was anyway, to go and then hang out with my niece, who's been, I love her, but she's been a little sassy the past 2 days.
She's 3.5.
Yeah, so it's a little exhausting, and I didn't feel very well. And I was like, I'm just going to wear my Hosier sweatshirt again. It's the only thing that heals me.
That's fine.
Our Hosier sweatshirt, excuse me.
I had to wear my Shark Daddy sweatshirt because my office was going to go see the new Star Wars movie, and I felt like it could protect me in some way.
Yeah, so in this episode, in lieu of talking about 3 extremely boring Perrin chapters, we're going to give you our reviews of 2019's hot Christmas movies.
Right.
Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, as seen by Emily Jusha, and Cats, as seen by me. Emily, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Here's my spoiler-free review. It sucked. Shall we move on to the real star of the evening? I want to hear all about Cats, but first, let me read. Let me just read some of my favorite reviews of the movie Cats.
This will not be a spoiler-free review, but Cats has been...
Yeah, no one cares if there are spoilers.
Also, it's been a musical since the 80s, so fuck off.
These were sent to me by Devin.
I'm not surprised.
From the Boston Globe. My eyes are burning. Oh god, my eyes.
Yeah.
From Variety. 9 may not be enough lives for some of the stars to live down their involvement in this poorly conceived and executed adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's hit musical. Little White Lies said, I felt the light inside me slowly fading. The playlist said, once Tom Hooper's 110 minutes of Cats are over, theater is dead, and we unchosen ones are left, tragically, to continue living. The New York Times said, it's amazing to see what Adult Swim can accomplish with a $100 million budget. I never knew Tom Hooper was capable of making a surrealist nightmare that would rival Jodorowsky, that could baffle David Lynch, that would prompt even the dark god Cthulhu to emit an impressed eldritch shriek Vulture said, to assess cats as good or bad feels like the entirely wrong axis on which to see it. It is, with all affection, a monstrosity. And my personal favorite from RTE Ireland. First off, full disclosure, I am not a cat person. Second off, after watching this frankly mortifying film adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats, I'm not altogether sure I am a movie person anymore either. So that's how Cats has been received by the public, but here, breaking news is our very own witness to the eldritch horror that apparently is Cats.
I feel like not to turn this into like a food blogger article where I have to describe every detail of my day before getting into the important content.
It is important for context, though.
But I do just have to tell everybody about the day that I had preceding Cats, because I feel like it did impact in some weird ways. So I was just, like, annoyed. Like, next level annoyed. Like, the most annoyed I've ever been, probably. I don't know. It was a bad day. So then Cats starts. And, like... Not only that, but it's like the trailers before Cats, it was like the Call of the Wild remake with Harrison Ford and a CGI dog. Yeah, it was insane.
What the?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, no.
Little Women with Timothée Chalamet. Like, Trolls 2, which looks lit as hell, so that was like the only good one. But like, all this like fucking nonsense, as if they're just trying to like confuse your brain receptors. And this is like a weird thing. My dad always used to do this. He was the one who took us to movies, and so like, he would always like thumbs up or thumbs down a movie.
Yeah, you and I do that now. Did I pick that up from you?
Picked it up from me, because we would always do it, and it was always just like a fun Goodger family thing we do, and me and my brothers like still do it to this day. Like,
yeah. I know, when we go to theaters.
Yeah, and so I just, like, always do it.
It's like the fucking Gladiator thumbs up or
yeah,
down.
Exactly. Like, that's what you're doing. And so I just sort of, like, do it inherently.
Yeah.
And, like, all the trailers would start, and I'd immediately just, like, thumbs down. And everyone's like, what does make you happy? And I'm like, not Sonic the Hedgehog.
Jesus, Trolls 2, obviously.
Yeah, Trolls 2 came on, and I was like, 2 thumbs up. They're like, you're the most annoying person in the world.
Oh, it does look lit.
But anyway, then Cats starts. And I should preface this by saying I knew absolutely nothing about Cats by Andrew Lloyd Webber. For some reason, I've completely avoided it in my,
I looked up the
childhood
plot. Out of
zeitgeist.
Curiosity, there is no plot.
There's a plot, but it is incomprehensible. Yeah. So I just, like, had no idea what was going on. I knew there were cats. I knew that they sang. I knew that everyone was like, this is uncanny as hell. I also knew that Jason Derulo was in it for some fucking reason.
I saw the trailer without sound, and it gave me nightmares for a month.
Yeah, they are horrifying to look at.
Yep.
By the end of the movie, I was like, I don't know what a real cat looks like anymore. So I had to come home and, like, hold Tybalt's face in my hands and be like, what do you look like? What does your face look like? And luckily he was in, like, a mood where that was okay, but I was like, I need to see a cat without a human nose. Oh. And so it was just like... I hate that. Because, like, I love a good musical. It is, like, one of my favorite things in the world is when everyone just, like, clicks their heels and there's, like, a sudden jaunty musical number. So there was, like, a part of the, like, serotonin receptors in my brain that was like, hell yeah. Everyone's, like, really talented dancers. Like, the ensemble was full of, like, a lot of professional ballerinas.
Right.
And so they're just, like... beautiful lines, beautiful movement. Whoever the choreographer was, like, is the only one who should probably win any award for this godforsaken movie. But, so there are, like, times where it's just, like, really beautiful, and, like, when there are wide shots and you didn't have to look at anybody's face for an extensive time, I'm like, okay, I can maybe, like, get into this. And then it would, like, zoom in on a character and it would be like, all over again. Because it was just, like, so frightening. Like, I don't know who thought this was a good idea. Like, they're just so horrifying because there's just their face.
Can you rate the individual cats?
Yes.
And their actors and their songs?
Yes.
All of those factors taken into consideration.
Thank you for giving me some guidelines, or I would have just kept screaming for 20 minutes.
No, you're fine.
The least impressive, the most horrifying one is Idris Elba. I'm sorry, Idris, but they basically, like, you just
Idris Elba's agent, I'm pretty sure, should be taken out back and shot. Because
why is Idris Elba in this movie?
I can get past Taylor Swift, Jason Derulo, even goddamn Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Homeboy's not got very many movies left in him, and he can go out doing whatever he wants to.
I think it looked like Ian McKellen was having a fucking fun time,
which is
too.
what I want for him.
Yeah.
But Idris Elba, we all know you're so much better than this. We've seen you act. We know you're good. Then again, he was in Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw.
That at least is like not to like rank masculine things over like feminine things the way that action movies and musicals are, but like The Rock and like Jason Statham are also like famous in their own way, and there's like some credibility behind that franchise that regularly brings in like millions and millions of dollars.
And this is super important, wasn't in a cat suit.
Yeah. Oh my god, because Idris Elba's was literally the worst. It like literally didn't even look like he was a cat. It was just him in like a suit that had fur on it, and it was so horrifying. And he was also like the bad cat, and whenever he would like steal people,
as you're telling about them, I'm gonna look them up, and
he would like say his name, he'd be like McCavity, and then he would like disappear. Because the plot of Cats, if you like me haven't seen it,
oh no,
it's horrifying.
Why's he got a hat?
Don't look at it too long; it'll steal your soul.
You're right. It's so awful that his nose is human.
Yeah, isn't it? It's just like, not that I want them to like make these I don't know what I wanted. I just didn't want them to look like this. But the way that my friend Julie, who watched watched Cats as a kid and like loved it, described it, is that all of these cats, which are called Jellicle cats for like some reason, I don't know why they're called Jellicle cats, not just cats, it's like a special Jellicle cat holiday called the Jellicle Moon. And every year at the Jellicle Moon, they have basically a drag ball where everybody like puts on costumes and like puts on a number. And then the Queen of the Cats, Judi Dench, aka Old Deuteronomy, will pick the cat that's most worthy to go to the Heavenside lair, I don't know.
That sounds pretty elitist.
Which is basically just the moon. But they pick them to die and be reborn, have a chance for another life. So not just be like given a reward, they're like being picked to go die and like live again. Because all of them live in this like shitty, I don't know,
they're
cat
all like
town.
alley cats. And
yeah. But then there's like they're like all alley cats, but then of course there's like a shittier alley cat played by Jennifer Hudson, who's like the homeless cat. Anyway, Idris Elba was the worst. Every time I looked at him, I wanted to cry, which is sad, because usually every time I look at Idris Elba, I want to, like, fuck. So it was pretty upsetting.
He knows how women react.
They did that to me, personally. Let's see. The next ones that I would rate as low on the list is James Corden and Rebel Wilson. Just because, like, I'm sure it must be very hard to navigate Hollywood as, like, a fat person, because there's so much like shame and stigma around that, but it's getting a little exhausting that their entire career is just like shameless fat jokes.
Oh, is that all it was? They were like the fat cats?
Yeah, they were the fat cats.
That's so aggravating.
Yeah, like James Corden's whole song as Bustopher Jones is his name.
Fuck.
And Rebel Wilson was Jenny Anydots. Yeah.
Wow.
Bustopher Jones' whole song is about how he's a fat cat. That he's like a 25-pounder.
My God.
Yeah. And there's this like gross scene where he just like dives into a pile of garbage.
He also looks horrifying.
I know, he looks terrifying. But Rebel Wilson at one point like unzips her skin.
What?
And is wearing like a cat, like an outfit. But she still like got fur, so she like unzips one fur and has like an outfit and another fur. I don't know what's going on there. But she did a number with like dancing cockroaches, which was a lot.
They also, I just want to say this, neither of them is a particularly good singer.
Yeah.
I know they're both famously in musical movies and things like that, but I've never understood why, like, Rebel Wilson is singing in the Pitch Perfect franchise. She's a very funny character.
Yeah.
She's got great lines, but, like, her value is not in her voice. And James Corden needs to stop trying to out-sing singers at their own goddamn songs in his car.
Yeah.
It is so obnoxious.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents.
No, I get it. Let's see. Then I would probably say that Judi Dench would come next, just because she was somehow, like, the most uncanny looking of the cats for me.
They couldn't get her to sit still long enough to...
I don't know. She just, like, looked... Like, okay, Idris Elba is obviously the most uncanny looking, but then I would say Judi Dench. She's scary, yeah.
I just don't like it when she smiles.
Yeah. Let's see. Then I would say probably Ian McKellen, just because I couldn't understand a single word he was saying.
Did everyone have British accents in this, or did they all have their own accents?
I can't actually recall.
Oh. Okay.
No, I don't think Taylor Swift had a British accent. So I don't think they all had British accents. A lot of them did, though.
Right. Because many of them are British,
yeah.
But, like, did Jason Derulo have a
British he did. Accent? He had a Cockney accent. It was terrible.
Oh, no.
I would actually put Ian McKellen, obviously, before Jason Derulo, just on principle. Plus the Jason Derulo song. His name is Rum Tum Tugger, which is weirdly sexual.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. And his whole act was, like, all the, like, lady cats are in love with him because he's, like, such a scoundrel. And, like, during his song, they, like, go to the milk bar, and all these women cats just, like, have their mouths open and are, like, pouring, like, milk into their mouths.
Oh, gee, I wonder what that...
Yeah, and it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, we get it, Jason Derulo, but you already have the horniest songs on the planet.
Yeah, like,
you have to be in Cats.
Yeah, you don't also get to be the horniest cat. Oh, so annoying. Let's see. So Rum Tum Tugger can fuck off. Then I would do Ian McKellen, who's Gus the theatrical cat. Then Taylor Swift, just because I thought she was really underwhelming. Everyone's like, Taylor Swift is in Cats. But she's like the catnip cat who comes in on a moon and drugs everybody so that McCavity, Idris Elba, can steal the last contestant away from the drag ball so that he can win.
What the?
Yeah, there's no point even trying to further clarify these plot points.
Everything you say makes me feel like I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately that I've had a stroke. Who's the, like, main cat?
The main cat is a cat named Victoria, and there's a whole thing about how that can't actually be her name, because cats have to have these secret names that the humans don't know, which is why they're all named fucking things like Skimbleshanks.
Skimbleshanks?
Skimbleshanks is my favorite cat. We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Victoria, I guess I would put right after Taylor Swift. I mean, Victoria, I don't know. No, I would do Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser. They're, like, the burglar cats. And, like, everyone else thought they were pretty underwhelming, but I thought they were kind of fun. They are just, like, these calico cats.
Griddlebane.
Yeah.
Griddlebone, excuse me.
Yeah.
Syllabub. Mr. Mistopheles.
Yeah. Mr. Mistopheles, I would put after Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser, just because he was, like, kind of like a nice guy cat. Like, that was kind of the vibe that they gave him.
The actor's kind of cute.
No, the actor is extremely cute. And he was also, like, to his credit, maybe the one that looked most like an actual cat in the cat makeup.
Interesting.
So he was, like, kind of the least horrifying to look at. I think it's because he's got that, like, very pointy nose.
He's got a very pointy face in
general.
general.
So it just kind of, like,
mimicked
mimicked...
Will Shakespeare for
he looks really hot in that role. It just kind of, like, mimicked the general geometry of a cat's face better than anybody else's actual human face. So
Sure.
The magical Mr. Mistopheles had that going for him. Let's see. Then left the main... I'll just do the main ones, because it's probably a little boring to people. Okay, so... After that, I would do... After the magical Mr. Mistopheles would probably be Victoria, who's our main cat. She's fine. She's just pretty boring. She just kind of just looks confused and horny
like
the whole time.
Stand-in?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But she also, like, for some godforsaken reason, they let Taylor Swift write an original song for this, as though she is on the same level as Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh, no.
Like, not to say that she's not talented or that Andrew Lloyd Webber is, like, the pinnacle of American music.
I mean, he wrote Cats.
Yeah, and this fucking Starlight Express.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, like, it just felt weird. It was just, like, a weird thing that they did. I bet it was, like, part of her contract, though, like, why they got
She's like,
Taylor
I
Swift.
have to have my own song in the movie.
And her song fucking sucked. It was, like, white privilege in a song, basically.
What the?
So, like, Jennifer Hudson's cat, Grisabella, used to be, like, the glamorous cat. But then she teamed up with McCavity, the bad cat. And now she's, like, lost her status among the Jellicle cats. So she's, like, the homeless cat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Right, okay.
And Victoria keeps trying to, like, befriend her throughout the entire movie, and at some point she sings this song, like, Jennifer Hudson. Apparently that song, you know that song, like, Memory, All Alone in the Moonlight?
Oh, yeah, vaguely.
That's from Cats, which I never knew.
Okay.
So I was like, what the fuck, I know that song. But
Sarah was in an elementary school production of Cats.
horrifying.
I just remembered
Which
that.
cat was she? I have to know. Text her immediately.
I could call her. Sarah said she was not actually in an elementary school production of Cats. She was in an elementary school play that was about cats and dogs.
Lame.
And I remember the cat makeup. Sarah thinks she was a dog of some type. A puppy dog, she said.
Very cute.
Yeah, and she was amazed that I remembered.
Remember, like a steel trap.
Yeah, I remember sitting in the little auditorium. Why you have to tweet about me?
Because it was so funny.
Yeah, if you remember that tweet about me taking a discussion with Sarah about Star Wars, she was like, I kind of liked it. And I was like, well, Emperor Palpatine fucked. And she was like, never mind.
Yeah. I hate every time a new Star Wars comes out, because then it's like, I have to, like, gird my loins as the gay liberal of the family.
I know.
Everyone's
like, well, I liked it. And I'm like, okay, great. And then they're like, did you like it? And I'm like, no.
They're like, why do you hate everything?
And you're like, I don't. Do you want to hear the list of things that I love?
Haikyuu.
Black Sails.
Black Sails. The Good Place.
The Good Place. Many of those shows. Brooklyn
Skimbleshanks, the cat from Cats, specifically.
Oh my God.
I have to bring it back. I have to finish my rating. This has been a really boring episode, and I feel like I'm disappointing on content.
No, you're not disappointing.
Okay, anyway, well, I was talking about Victoria. Oh, okay. At some point, Victoria's, like, trying to, like, befriend Grisabella, the glamour cat. And she's singing this song, and Grisabella's singing her song about memory and how it's so nice to remember who she used to be. And fucking Victoria, white privileged TM, even though I don't know who she's played by, she's a white cat, comes out and is like, sings this song that's basically like, I'm sorry that you're homeless and that your life sucks, but at least you have good memories. I don't have any memories. Nobody's ever wanted me.
What the?
Yeah. The song is basically like that.
What the?
It's so weird. And I'm like, Taylor Swift, girl.
Oh, Tay.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift was the least unpredictable. I mean, she was the most predictable member of this cast, by the way.
Yeah.
She loves cats. She has no taste. That's pretty much her entire character.
Yeah.
One.
I don't know. She just, like, I don't even have anything else to say about her. Okay, wrapping this up. Then my second favorite cat would be Monkey Strap, I think is how you say it, who's kind of like our narrator figure, who's, like, explains the world. And he's just, like, a good boy.
Is he played by anyone?
He's played by, I think he's actually, like, a famous dancer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's, like, an actual ballet dancer. And he was just, like, beautiful to watch move. Like, he was... I think the girl who played Victoria might also actually be a ballet dancer, because the two of them are... Yeah, she's an actual ballerina. Francesca Hayward. They were just, like, absolutely stunning to watch. So, again, like, the choreography was... when you weren't looking at their faces. There was also a scene... There's, like, two cats. I think they're played by twins. They're like, in the ensemble who are, like, breakdancing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And, like, the actors are black. And all the cats are barefoot. And they put sneakers on the actors who are breakdancing. And I'm like, what a choice.
Okay. Was everyone acting like cats?
Yeah. Instead of, like, kissing, they would, like, rub their faces on each other.
Oh.
There's, like, some sort of, like, romantic...
Would they, like... show you their asshole or whatever?
I mean, who knows? I bet Tom Hooper or whatever probably wanted that, but someone was like, Tom,
there has to be a line.
You're killing America.
Tom, you're murdering us. Tom, why?
Tom, why?
Tom! Not to be confused with Tom Hopper.
Yeah, who's done only a few things wrong in his career. Like playing what's this fuckface from the Umbrella Academy.
God, Luther is the worst character in the Umbrella Academy, but he plays Billy Bones.
Yeah,
who's the best character in season 1.
Yeah, of Black Sails. After that, right in the toilet.
He's pretty bad, especially by season 4. Yeah. But season 1,
very cute.
Gentlemen, might we just this once
forgo the fuck tent? A legendary line.
So good.
So I liked Monkey Strap a lot. He also, I read this good tweet where it was like, Monkey Strap looked like he didn't want to be there more than anybody else, which is a huge mood. So, like, good for you. He also sang the introduction to Skimbleshanks' song, and Skimbleshanks is my favorite cat. Ooh. So it leads me to believe that they are in love.
Good. That's a nice narrative to tell us.
Yeah, but Skimbleshanks is the weirdly the buffest cat.
Oh, okay.
He's like
don't like
ripped.
that.
But he's also a railway cat, and so his whole thing is that he's like singing about his job, which was to keep mice off the train. And so he's just like a good, hardworking little cat. And he wears suspenders, and he tap dances.
This begs a lot of questions about the Cats universe.
I know.
It's like
you can't think about it.
It's like Cars.
You can't think about it. There's this, like, implication that there's, like, an understanding that there's, like, maybe all these cats had a cat life as, like, a cat in relation to people. And now they're in, like, the Jellicle cat place. And when they get reborn, they have a chance to be, like, a different cat
like
with
Purr-gatory.
people. That's what I got.
It's like Purr-gatory, and you have to...
Purr-gatory.
I'll fucking murder you. And they have to compete in order to get into their next of...
Yeah.
So if you complete 9 lives, do you finally get to...
I don't know.
Die? Do you finally get peace from this hellish existence?
I could not tell you. But Skimbleshanks has a very jaunty tap dancing number, and then for some reason they go from the ballroom to, like, being on an actual railroad, and he's, like, tap dancing, and he's very cute and charming. I like Skimbleshanks a lot.
Skimbleshanks.
So he would be my favorite, because I'm a slut for tap dancing and trains.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there are so many, like, you can't think about all the questions, because Jenny Any Dots, Rebel Wilson's character, she's like a Gumby cat. Is what they call her, which I didn't ever Google it, but I imagine it's like a kitchen cat because her whole song is about keeping mice and cockroaches out of the kitchen.
Okay.
So there, like, has to be some sort of relationship to people. Plus, all the furniture around them is, like, bigger than them. Like, the set is, like, supersized. So, and, like, James Corden, Busterfer Jones, says that he's a 25-pounder, which is fat for a cat, of course. So there's, like, there has to be some sort of relationship to the human world. Plus, there's a human at the beginning who brings Victoria in a bag and, like, throws her into a graveyard.
There's a human in it?
Yeah, at the beginning, for, like, 2 seconds.
Who throws her into a graveyard like she's a dead cat?
Yeah, like, she's in a bag. Like, it's, like, hidden that she's killed or something. Like, was my understanding. And then all the cats come and, like, dance around her in this creepy circle, and then she, like, pops out of the bag like a full-ass grown Jellicle cat.
So it definitely is Purr-gatory.
Yeah. And then Monkey Strap sings her the introductory song all about what it means to be a Jellicle cat. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Anyway.
This is I'm really disturbed.
I know. When you, like, think about it, it's like, cats is frightening. But anyway, they defeat McCavity, and Jennifer Hudson sings really well, of course, because she's a beautiful singer. But she's, like, snotting the whole time, like, into her mouth while she's singing. So I was like, girl, are you safe?
She's, like, crying while she's
singing? Because she's, like, super depressed and sad. But she gets chosen as it's the Jellicle choice. It's like Andrew Lloyd Webber is just like, put fucking Jellicle in front of everything.
What does Jellicle mean?
It's like, I think it's a made up word.
Jellicle, like angelical?
Maybe.
Huh.
And all these, like, are based off the T.S. Eliot poems, but apparently Andrew Lloyd Webber.
T.S. Eliot was
also a crazy person.
Fucking a lunatic.
Yeah, like, have you ever read The Wasteland?
Yeah, he was...
And all English professors are like, there's so much meaning. And I'm like, this is incomprehensible.
Homeboy was high as fuck when he wrote it, and there's nothing...
Proofrock is also almost incomprehensible. Yeah. So fuck off with T.S. Eliot. He's not a good poet. There's my radical take of the evening. But anyway, what was I saying? Apparently this was like a cocaine musical. Like, they wrote an actual musical based off the poems. Right. That was, like, more authentic, and everyone's like, this is too boring, it'll never make it on Broadway. So, according to my friend Julie, they, like, locked themselves in a room for a week and just, like, did a bunch of cocaine, and this is what they came up with. So, anyway...
I have nothing to say to that.
Cats was, like, at one point, I was so confused after Victoria Cat sang Taylor Swift's super weird privilege song to Jennifer Hudson Cat. Judi Dench is, like, watching this happen, And she sings this song that's basically just like, the meaning of something isn't the meaning of another thing when you turn it into the meaning of this other thing. And it's just like saying nonsense words for like a minute. And I got so stressed out that I just started like laughing hysterically because I was like, I don't understand what's happening. And so all of my friends then started laughing because I was just like weeping because I was like, what is going on?
It's like doing mushrooms.
Yeah. And so again, I was like, I cannot imagine what it would have been like to be high during this movie. Because every time they showed me one of the cat's faces, I was like, this is what my sleep paralysis demon looks like. Like, whenever it's horrifying.
They're really just horrors.
They are horrors. I don't know how, because there's something about, like, I was reading this review where it's like, there's something about it being like a theater production where there's like limitations.
Yeah.
Where
you
like
just can wear,
you could just wear like face paint and it's like okay. But there's something about someone like trying to spit in the face of God and CGI a cat human.
The renderings aren't even good.
They're not even
so
good.
Sad.
Yeah.
Like, we're in an age of advanced computer graphics, and someone was like, you have 3 days to put cats, all of the CGI and cats together.
And they were like,
luck.
okay, it fucking sucks. And Tom Hooper was like, perfect.
I don't care. That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm here to masturbate ferociously.
Julie was telling me that, like, it was released this date, the same date as Star Wars, because this is, like, the optimal week. That's the first, I don't understand how the film industry works. This is, like, the optimal couple of weeks to, like, release a movie for Oscar consideration.
Right.
So Tom Hooper was like, this movie's gonna win all of the fucking Oscars. And I'm like, you're fucking hubris.
Men are so delusional, but also I get it, because every year the Oscars is like, oh, a movie by a white man? Yeah, we'll just put that
800
in the
Oscars.
Best Picture category.
Yeah.
Best Director.
If Cats wins any Oscar, I will accept Best Choreography. Because again, the choreography was great. All these, like, the fact that they got actual, like, professional ballerinas, like, you could really tell. Like, they were amazing, beautiful dancers.
Yeah, anything else, though, means
anything else, if it
walls...
is anything about design, costuming, script, adaptation, anything, I will personally burn down the Academy myself. I will
Molotov
personally,
cocktail.
yeah, boom, another problem.
Yeah, try spitting in the face of God now. God's spitting back.
Yeah.
I am the agent of God himself, themself, herself.
Herself. It's like fucking Icarus flying way too close to the sun.
It's Tom Hooper getting on a catsuit and throwing himself into a goddamn...
It seriously, like, I just...
grinder.
I don't know. It was something to be said for sure. Anyway, I'm sorry if that was, like, the worst episode you've ever listened to, but it had to be done.
It had to be done. It was just therapy for us, mostly.
Yeah.
We haven't seen each other all week, also.
I know, it's been a weird week.
The
only thing I had to report is that I saw cats.
Yeah.
Emily has a lot of actual human stuff going on.
It was bad.
It's like, I saw cats, and I also saw hell.
Yeah,
I
looked into the void, and the void looked back.
Yeah, the void definitely looked back.
Okay, well...
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's...
Happy Chrysler.
This is our last episode of 2020.
Oh, fuck me. If I had thought about it that way, I would not have talked about cats for this episode.
Really?
I don't want to go out of the decade.
I do. This has been a shitty decade.
The void stared back at me for an hour.
This is the perfect episode to end, 2019, because 2019 was, in all respects, a shitty year for most of the world.
That's true.
We may have had our personal successes. For example, I now have a job that doesn't force me to work on Christmas.
That's true.
But it's mostly been bad. On that note, thank you to Glenna McKenzie for our theme song. That is probably the best news of the year 2019, as we have not yet been sued by Chumbawamba.
Hell yeah, another year older.
Another year going strong. Thank you for listening. Do we need to sign off really this year?
I mean, wasn't this fucking episode a sign-off?
This entire episode was a sign-off, so we'll just say, don't do a war crime.
I thought you were going to say yeet.
And yeet.
This is the last word of 2019.
The last word of 2019, yeet, motherfuckers. Goodbye.